So today I thought I would do April holidays or, special events, part 2. So, and I have this bingo game that I'm going to be doing. So the people who watch that or, play that, then they'll know. Anyway, and so some of the things that, I also did Easter already. So, but Good Friday. And so you do it Good Friday. Now, some people do Friday this way, and I do it this way, and I think that's because I was taught that way, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Some people have it out. It's not wrong, and I think it's just a style. So, but I don't know why. I think it's because you don't have to twist your hand. You see what I'm saying? Is that you got your arm up, and if you do it this way, it's twisting. But if it's this way, it's not. So I think that's why I learned that. So, and I don't have carpal tunnel so far. So anyway, so Good Friday. And then also, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, but we did Ramadan, and the end of that is called, it's E-I-D, is it id or Id? I'm not really sure. And so, but they do this to end it. It's an A hand shape, and they go this way. Now, we usually do that for like Atlanta, the city of Atlanta, but that's what they use for the ending of Ramadan, E-I-D. Is it Eid or Id? Anyway, I apologize for mispronouncing it. And then, so I wanted to make sure I do as many of the major religion holidays, since they happen to be in April this year. So, and then for another Christian one, for Risen, for Resurrection Day, they might say it. I mean, we call it Easter. Some people just call it Resurrection Day, because we have Good Friday, and then we have Easter, or you can say Resurrection Day, or He is risen. So resurrection, and sometimes you have to be kind of careful on how you sign it. So this is your base, your hand you do not write with, and the hand that you write with is here, and it goes up, and it doesn't like it's dancing. It goes in a circle. It's risen. It's risen. You can also do resurrection in a different way. So if you bury someone, so they're buried, and here, these are the legs of the people, and their spirit leaves their body, and then when they're resurrected, the spirit comes back into the body, and then they come up together. So that's how I explain to children, deaf children, and I guess deaf adults too, is the resurrection. Is when you die, your spirit leaves, and then when you're resurrected, it comes back, and then it's risen together. But this is the sign for risen or resurrection. Also, with going with the Christian holiday, the tomb, and I've already done this before, but you have the tomb with the hand that you don't write with, and then the rock is this way, and it's rolled away. So that's how I do that. Okay, and then we did, so for the spring part, we did spring, because the first day of spring we've already had. And we also did it rains. So you can do, oh, it's raining, it's a light rain, or it's a horrible rain, right? Storm, and it's raining, but then flowers grow, which is the same sign as spring, because it grows, right? But it's grow. Some people do that, like children grow so fast, and I see that a lot. This is because you in the ground, right? The seeds in the ground, the bulbs in the ground, and it comes up and it flowers. That's why that's spring, or that's why it's, any kind of growth. But and you can say they're getting so tall, or they develop. But I still see this by deaf people, and so it's not wrong. But I'm just thinking conceptually, it's like, oh, they grow, they fast, right? Or a child develops quickly, if you're talking about that. But you will say they grow. Man, you have grown. You will see that. So, and because the deaf do it and it's their language, it's then it's fine, right? So if I'm talking in American English and I decide to talk a certain way, hey, it's my language. Don't tell me how to talk, right? So absolutely, it's their language. So I don't correct deaf people. So, and then we already did bunny, and I think we did that last year. The ears, I just have it out because it's just more convenient, but you could do it this way. You could also do it this way, the bunny ears. And then also butterfly. So this is, you take your 5 hands, and then you're just going to cross it and have your thumbs together, and then you have the butterfly. Looks like one, right? So that's how you do butterfly. Tree, we've already done this. This is a tree. So, and the reason I'm doing these signs, because like Earth Day, so we have you can do tree, but you can say the trees. We want to save the trees. We want to protect the trees, or protect the trees. If you're going to go out, you can protect. So you protect something, but if you want, I do a sweeping things if it's more than one thing, or if it's a group of something. Then instead of protecting a person, then I'm going to, the trees protect, because it's all the trees, right? So, and then there's a couple different ways to do basket. So you could, like Easter egg basket. So you could do it like, and this is how I learned it, is a basket. But you could also do it like you're holding it, which would be your hand that you don't write with, and then the handle would be like you're holding it, because it's a big basket. So basket, you could say your Easter basket, or if you want to have a big one, you could say, oh, you have a big Easter basket, right? You could say it's a big one, or basket. Where's your basket? Where's your eggs? So we did that. We already know eggs. Remember, it started from the egg this way to breaking it, and then it goes this way to break the eggs in this way. It's just gotten shorter instead of the whole thing. And so that's how that one goes. And so, and then a little animal that's in the Easter time is a chicken. And so there's a couple ways different chicken. We always do this. This is bird. Or what do you want for dinner tonight? Oh, I want some chicken. I mean, my brain. Okay, dinner tonight. What do you want? Oh, chicken I want. I don't know why I did that backwards. Anyway, that's trying to do 2 languages at once. So chicken. But the sign for a chicken, really, here's the formal sign, where you have a chicken and then it eats, right? It eats the grain and the seed and the little bitty tiny pebbles that are on the ground. And that's how chickens eat. So that's chicken. But it's also gotten shortened where we do chicken, bird. But that's also the sign for bird, right? But for when you have dinner, and dinner, what do you want? It's not, you're not saying I want a bird, you're saying chicken, right? I would interpret that unless you normally eat some sort of other type of bird. But that's a sign for chicken. But this is the formal sign for chicken. And you will see that, and it's always good to learn it because more than one sign for the same thing, because you're going to probably see it. And we already did Earth Day. So I just wanted to make sure we got all, and then ASL Day. Is it for in April? So there's a couple of different ways. People say, oh, I'm learning sign. This is sign language. Sign language. And that's correct. You will see that people do, I sign. And it it's not just this, but it moves. So that's how they sign ASL, sign language, because you're moving your hands either in a gesture or a formal sign. So it is this way. So you can do it this way for sign language or sign language. Which one do you like? Actually, this one's easier, right? Than sign language. Oh, I sign. Sign language. Okay. I'll let you decide. And then April Fool's Day, there was another one. I did trick or whatever, but I also forgot to do joke, like to tease. And that's the same sign. So we have our X hand shapes, and the hand that you write with does the action. So it does this one. Joke. I'm just teasing. That's a joke, right? To tease or to joke. Oh, stop teasing your brother. Or sister, whatever. Okay, so I think we've got them all. So I think that I can think of that are, important, but there's also many things that you can say, like for the spring time. And remember, it's not time, it's time. It's a season, or it's an era. So it's springtime instead of springtime. But if you see springtime, so be it. If it's a hearing person, you might want to say, "Oh, I thought it was springtime." But if, people do that, it used to bother me when I first started. It's like, no, we need to do it correctly, because I wanted to do it correctly, right? But now it's like, if you get the point across, and that's how other people sign, and they understand it, especially the deaf people, not the hearing people, the deaf people. That's what I'm more concerned about, is what do they understand? And if they understand it, and if they sign it that way, then that is the way it should be. And that's how I was taught. And that's the way I'll always have that stance in supporting the deaf people and their culture and their language. It is their language, and we don't want to take over it and say, let me show you how to do your language. It would be like someone else coming over, let me tell you how to do your English. And so we would take great offense, and do not want those people there, around us. So we don't want to be that way. It's their language. They have it. They change it. They have slang. They have their own little play on signs, if you will. And so it's their language and their culture. And practice and have a good time. And I will see you later. Bye.